Boo! After 300 years, the witches are back, and I am back. Hello, everyone. Oh, yes, I am back, and this time for a costume tutorial. I remember I did one costume tutorial that was, I think, 3 years ago, and that's for my Ursula tentacles. And up to now, it really gets a lot of reviews, a lot of likes, and it's my most viewed video so far. It's because Halloween is exciting, right? So come join me, let's do the tutorial, and I hope that you can get a lot of tips from this video. You got it. This is our Halloween episode, and I'm so excited because I'm going to share how I created my Winnifred costume. And you know, I always join costume contests, and again, I won in this costume contest. It's almost like it's a challenge every year, and so it gets me to really want to create. So for this year, I'm already thinking of something really outrageous and vibrant. But I'm not going to talk about that yet, because right now I'm sharing with you my Winnifred costume. So if you're trying to think what kind of costume you want, and then suddenly you want to be Winnifred, but you don't know what fabric to put together, this is a video for you. But remember, before you buy clothes, before you buy fabric, you want to check your closet, check whatever fabric you have left there, because sometimes these little pieces of fabric are actually going to give you an idea as to what you can make. That's what I do. I just keep my fabric, keep them for as long as I can, because they come in handy when it's costume time. I knew what I wanted to be probably 3 months ago, and then I started drawing because I love doing things myself. I bought this fabric from Value Village, and if I remember right, it was $4.99. What I love about this fabric is that you see how the color changes. So that one I made into a skirt because it's the color of the skirt of Winnifred. See? And the thing is, it has this like sort of magical effect. So it's just plain, like, you know, when you sew a skirt, you don't even need to make a shape because this is balloon shaped. So all I did was to just shear it and then sew. And so I came up with this beautiful skirt. And now for the vests. I had to buy this fabric because I don't really store purple a lot. I'm not a purple girl. It's like a boat neckline. And then you see how I did that cord. You know how I put that cord? And you see what secured those cords so that I got this effect? It's actually, well, we call it rick-rack during my time. And then I sewed it at the center. So this part. You know, this part, because this is where I put this is how my cord looped into the vest. And then of course I added that. So there you go. That's what you see right now. And so it's really, and it helps me keep the entire cord secure, and it's very even. Okay, next, how did I get this sleeves? Problem with the costume of Winnifred is it's so hard to understand how the entire thing was put together. I had to use so many photos to be able to understand what was going on in that costume. I have lace. I keep a lot of fabric with me. So I cut the lace into 2 equal sizes because they were going to be used for the sleeves. And then after that, I put pleats. And then that way it's narrower at one end because that's what's going to be attached to the main sleeve. And then that way the other end is actually wider and can have a little sheer effect because you want some sheer effect, right? Then after that, I'm going to connect that. I'm going to sew that on the purple sleeves. See, it has to be purple sleeves. So I had to make sure that I had that. So there you go. I've sewn it to the hem of the sleeve, and that's ready to put together and attached to the main costume, to the main bodies. See this one? That's the main bodies. You can't see the sleeves from there, but okay. Now to make the main body. You see that? This is velvet. This one I had to buy. I had to buy this velvet fabric. These very beautiful designs actually come from a very old Kleenex box cover. I've never actually used it. I bought it and I've kept it for years. I'm glad I kept it for years. So I was able to cut up the designs and then make them the decoration for the costume. Okay, and then now I have my skirt there. It's all ready. And you see this orange? I had this orange skirt a long time ago, like 18 years ago. I used that as my underskirt and then I put my skirt on top. Okay, well, we are all set. Are you enjoying the video so far? If you're liking this, don't forget to hit the like button, share, comment, subscribe. I'd love to see you again, maybe next week, maybe in the weeks to come. But if you're subscribed and you hit the notification bell, then chances are you'll get to watch my feel-good videos as soon as I release them. Oh wow, there's my wig. That one I had to buy, of course. I can't make wigs. And then now let's do the makeup. I'm just going to show the makeup pretty quick. This tutorial is all about putting together the costume of Winnifred. So you see that I had to put my eyebrows and then some dark, very dark shadows to emphasize the eyes. Check out my blush, which should be at the center of the cheek because that's how Winnifred actually did her makeup. Okay, just putting some highlight to emphasize the parts of the eyes that you want to be more forward, and then that way the brows also stand out, right? Okay, so it's check that, and then okay, just for finishing up. And you know, this, see this highlight that I put at the center of the eyes and underneath, they will actually make my eyes bigger. And then that way, because I'm going to perform with some of my colleagues, so I wanted to make sure that my eyes would be very visible, and because I had to express them. You know, it's a challenge to be Winnifred because you have to really be able to show people that you're mean and that you're confident and that you're the boss, you know, things like that. So I had to make sure I was going to have that effect. Now to put on my vest. You see that green one underneath? That's also a, that's actually a gown I bought from Amazon for $38, which I ended up not using because it was so thin. I was supposed to use that as my costume for Morgana Le Fay, but I decided to make my own costume because this was not scary enough. There you go. Put them all together and voila. Thankfully, it served as my undergown because you have to have that green gown underneath, all of that stuff, all of those layers that Winnifred had on her. So I'm so glad I had that. I actually attached the purple sleeves to the sleeves of my green gown. And now we're almost ready. Time to put that lipstick. You know, the lipstick's going to be a little bit of a challenge because it has to be like this. Yeah, you know, that kind of lipstick. Okay, so we're almost getting there. Okay, there you go. Just putting on that lipstick, making sure it's all shaped like Winnifred's. Ooh, really red lipstick there. So I had to make sure I had that red lipstick. And now the wig. Okay, I don't remember how much this one was, but I got this off of online, Amazon. Of course, it's new. You probably don't want to be using used wigs. I'm not very keen on using used wigs because it's hygienic. It's very personal, right? Very intimate. So I had to buy a new wig, and took a little bit of. It was a little bit challenging just fitting it on my head, but eventually I got to put it on there and keep it steady. You know, if you're going to perform, you're going to do a little bit of dancing here and there. You want to be sure that your accessories are stuck on your head, or are, you don't want wardrobe malfunctions, because that's the worst that can happen, especially in the middle of your performance, right? Okay, so we're almost there. We're getting it done. And then, okay, just testing that it works. Yeah, so far so good. Here we go. My lipstick's done. Okay, everything's looking good. Everything's in place. Okay, just making sure. Okay, we are ready. Yum. Okay, we are so ready. I'm always so excited when I'm in costume for Halloween, especially because the feeling is ecstatic, because I made my costume. It's always different when you make your costume. Your goal is not to make it better than what's out there, but to make it original. And sometimes it turns out to be better. So see this orange one? This is my old skirt, which is now on there. You won't see the skirt of my green gown because it's already underneath. I wore the green gown first and then put the orange underskirt and then the vest. And now I'm putting my skirt. Look at that. Like, I'm just feeling so proud of myself for creating this costume. Okay, that's a lot of layers. Wow. I'm so glad that Halloween is the cold season, because otherwise I don't know how you can wear this stuff in the summer. It's just really very thick. There's so much going on. Okay, but it's exciting as usual. And of course, I'm so excited. I'll be leaving shortly and I'm going to go out in my costume. Usually here in Canada, you'll be in costume already even as you go out. You'll see people walking in their costumes on the street and doing their stuff, because it's Halloween. People expect you actually to be in costume. If you're not in costume during Halloween, you're like, hello. You're not, yeah. People will look at you more if you're not in costume. They're going to wonder why. So we have to be in costume. And you see how I made that collar stand? Oh, my husband helped me. He gave me an idea. That's part of a plastic plate. Those picnic plates. I had to use that part of the plate so that my collar stands. Okay. Awesome. I'm all set. And yes, we are definitely ready. So if you want to be Winnifred for Halloween, I hope the ideas you'll get from this video will help, because really it gives you a different sense of satisfaction when you know that you actually made your costume from scratch. And yes, I won for this costume. Also, I think I've been winning for 3 years in a row, and it's the passion of creating. I think it's the one that powers me up to create, to make my design. It's because I love to create from scratch and I want to see exactly how they look once they're done. Sometimes they won't look exactly as you planned. Sometimes they're not as good, or sometimes they're even better. So again, that's the good thing about making your own. It's unique and only you are going to have that kind of costume. I hope you learned a lot from this episode. I hope you learned a lot about the layers that I put together to come up with this awesome, very intricate costume of Winnifred. Happy Halloween! I hope you're liking this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and also don't forget to follow me on Instagram @TheRealD, TikTok @TheRealD, Twitter @TheRealD. I also have a Facebook page, Building Self-Esteem on Social Media, because we want to feel good when we're on social media. There can be a lot of negativity. We stick to the positive. And of course, this YouTube channel. I hope that you'll subscribe and help me spread my messages of entertainment, of enthusiasm, of feeling good and loving yourself, and definitely always aiming to your best version. See you in my next video. Be safe this Halloween. Go out with people. Don't go out there alone. And enjoy the process of getting ready for Halloween. Boo. Bye for now.